Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing all right. Let's open up this soda. Let me get to work. I've been looking forward to this. Oh God, and I left this up. I hate doing clay forming recipes. Suck. Alright. Let's hop in the game. I shotgun a lot of changes in. I think we're going to work on the Arclight Furnace some more. I need to bring the crafting system online for it. I think I got most of the other stuff done. Just gotta create the crafting system, connect the dots, create a way for me to import recipes in. That way I can easily add to it going down the road. And then, if there is time, play test. Figure stuff out. Well, it's a good sign that I can see this stuff in here. That one's idle, that one's on, that one's on. That's good. You know, I think those are kind of hard. It's kind of hard to tell what's on and what's not. I may have to change this, make it more of a vortex or something. Maybe have it go like straight up in the air and like warp around while it's doing the fire. Maybe that would be better. But I'll do that off stream. That's just kind of playing with some of the dials that I made. All right. Okay, let's... we're not going to put one down. Here we go. We got this one. We need to create the recipe system. What we're going to do is look at... What should we look at? Let me think. What is this closer to? The Oculus or the Crucible in the current situation? I think I need to look at the Crucible. Yeah, let's look at the Crucible. Let's see, look at the block entity for the Crucible. Actually, not the block entity. I need to look at the block Crucible portal. I'm gonna kind of scroll down past all this crap. So in here... So right in here, this is where I'm starting the process of creation. Let me move this over. I'm gonna dock it right there. Because I kinda need to see both here. Alright, and let me go into the block furnace. Minimize that, that. And that. Hey, Zalsect, how's it going? I am creating the system to actually, like, craft items now. I think I have, for the most part, everything done. I created a texture replacement system depending on what you actually tie these to, link them to, so they physically change there. New follower, Hedgewig, how's it going? Thank you for the follow. But I got that. I have the system now where you can pull items out, right? If you right-click on the body, that's the output inventory. You would throw items in to put them in. And at that point, what we need to do is create a system to where when you throw something in, it needs to check if it's a valid thing, pull up the recipe for that valid item that you threw in, and then start running that depending on what your essence is. It's gonna be peeling an onion here, but and then when that time elapses, right, and it's crafted it needs to consume one item, check for the first available output slot, and then put the final result in there. Right? That way it just kind of fills it up. So that's what I am going to be starting to build. Not bad, you. I'm doing all right. I can't complain too much. It's Friday. I'm doing great. It's Friday, and I have a orange and cream Coca-Cola. I'm doing great. I do like the textures. I saw the pic you posted in the Discord. Yeah, everything's been pretty smooth here. This new system's working pretty well. You can disconnect things here, right? If I want to connect, you know, see, that's what it's like. And then, like, you know, like the idle, you know, like the particles and everything. Like, I have a nice, like, fire kind of swirl. Like, the fire, if you look, it actually, like, kind of swirls around it. Been doing a lot of particle work. I figured out what the wands are going to be like, how you're going to make them. I added things like you can select this stuff now, right? And it will, you know, it'll show you like what transmutation, you know, like what can be transmuted, what can't be. You know, same thing for this. I created a system to where I can dynamically take a little piece of hair there. I could dynamically take a like override what your mana cost is. So for transmutation, by casting it on here, it's going to cost 10 mana instead of the 2 for just casting it anyway. But that would finish the station and turn it into this. As you can see, like this one will add 2 charge per cast. So, you know, a lot of visuals, you know, kind of trying to polish things over. The more I can do of things like this, the less I have to write, you know, type up. It's I'm dreading redoing the guidebook. I live in fear of it. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, but it's got to be done. All right, let's make it daytime, make it easier to see. So we need to start planning some of this out. The first thing that I need to do is when you throw the item in, I need to pull a recipe to then feed into the block entity so I can pull all the right things out of that recipe, assuming that everything's going to have enough essence, right? So little things at a time. In here, I need, okay, in this run creation start process, let's create some space here. Because I need to push the recipe in. The recipe is going to be a string. So power status, so in here we're going to have to add a string recipe in. And then up here we're going to expand this. So what I'm going to have to do, it's going to be sloppy at first, but I think I need to make a choice. Should you be able to load this up when it is not connected to anything? Because I kind of have a chicken and egg scenario here. Let's take a look at the Arclight Furnace, right? Or the rustic compound. Depending on the essence type, it's going to become a different item. But my trigger to actually, you know, create an item in the recipe, like I need a static this item becomes this, right? Like, so how am I going to have a branching decision tree here? I don't think I can set the recipe when you initially throw this in. I think what I'm going to do is copy this. I'm going to undo what I just did. Just like that. kind of bring it down, right? So I will allow you to put an item in. I think we're gonna really rely on the block entity here. Let's scroll down to some of my old tick handlers here. Some of my listeners. Minimize all of this stuff here. Minimize textures. Here we go. You know what? Essence processing. I got rid of everything in here. I'm going to paste that in because I need this, right? Instead of ingredient, this is going to be this dot inventory, and it's going to be this dot slot input. So I'm going to have that for now, but we're going to have to do a couple things. Actually, I'm going to look to see what I had before. So if the connected essence provider position equals null, then reset the information. That's actually brilliant, past Vice. What does this do again? So this is resetting max time. What I should do is... I may end up reusing those. I'm going to have to add to it. Possibly. You know what? No, I don't. Not yet. Not yet. I won't focus on that. Frickerloper, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. It's a good day. It's a good day for me. Although we will see. I finished my my shoulder. My shoulder pain medicine. So let's hope like hell that, you know, I don't get my inflammation back and everything. Please, God, if you're listening, please just do me a solid. Please. I thank Quixote very much for this sub gift. Nice. Yeah, that was really nice of them. Feel the love. I'm on stream this time. And you're not going to get any ads, although I know you may miss some of those ads. You know, those ads make you feel something. Like rage and frustration and awkwardness. You know how many Taco Bell ads I get? Let's see, Grendler Biter. Grendel Biter. Thanks for the follow. Unique name? How's the Arclight Furnace so far? Here, I'll show it off for you. I got a lot of the stuff going here. Oh, that's right, because this would be null. Let me just comment that out. Continue. There we go. So this is what it's like. Here, we'll throw down a fresh one. We'll throw it down right here. You'll be able to clay form it. So all of these. Here we go. Actually, I may have the clay form recipe in. All right. So all three stages, you clay form this. If you notice, I put tags on things, right? So finish with transmutation. So you would cast the spell, and it would, of course, boop, turn into that at the cost of mana. So let's put that back down. So this is what it looks like. You can feed items into it by throwing the item on with Q. It kind of picks it up, and you can stack things. Right now, it's going to process one item at a time. You could go down to the output because you will be able to get other drops from processing things. But that was kind of like stage one, was, you know, figuring out the hitboxes, what you can like right click on to do what. So like you could throw in your compounds in here, and you notice that I actually have all the processing information just on the heads up display now. You're not going to have to like go into here. This is just to pull items out. And I had to overlap that because with this system, right? So if you, there we go. Let's combine this with this. You'll see the texture changes, and now we got particles, and actually it's running now. If I pull things out, that vortex will kind of fade away, and it just becomes the Arclight Furnace in an idle mode. And it changes too, right? Light, that's the light textures, and that's the dark, right? So you'll be able to throw in this stuff, and it will use whatever that essence is, right? To do that natural conversion. So right now, I would be making, what do I call it? Umbral ash. So pretty good stuff, pretty slick. Wow, such nice effects on transmutation. Transmutations come a long way. Even like, I'll show you the tier 2 now. You can see the radius, right? So you'll be able to see, you know, what the effects are here. We'll do something like in the middle here. See, like it kind of like falls off too. Like it kind of crystallizes a bit and then it falls off. So I thought I put some elbow grease in this. I put some legit elbow grease. I've mapped out the tiers 1, 2, and 3 wands. Right, so the tier 1 wand's gonna look kind of rotten. Tier 2 is gonna be the bone. Tier 3 is gonna be all of the different types here. I'm not sure what's gonna do what. Like, I may be able to put effects on, but for now, that's what it's gonna be because I have like a mountain of other things to do, and I don't have any good. I'd rather get feedback on it and not do it twice. So the visual part and like the inventories and everything is set up right now for the Arclight Furnace. Now comes the time where I need to start. You put the item in, it sees the link of the essence. Now it needs to start processing things. I need to create a recipe system, registry system for the recipes. That way I can easily pull all the variables out. Because I would like to get to a point where someone has a suggestion, right? And it's like, oh yeah, make a recipe that converts this into this. I can do that by coming up here, creating a new file here, right? Adding to the registry name, registering it into everything, right? Picking how long it's going to take to process, what the essence type's going to be, right? How much essence is it going to require, and what the output is, and how many you get. Bam. Fill this form out. It will automatically load it up, and, you know, a couple hooks into the item. That way you could throw it in, and it will actually, right now, it's kind of like Senior Spring. It could take anything. Doesn't mean it's going to process it, but this is the way. You know, there are things like the particles. You notice that they're kind of pink right now. All that stuff it comes to like the fine tuning once I get the actual system down. You'll also notice I did some stuff here. Oh, that's old. There we go. I did some stuff here working with particles. So if you notice in the current version, the particles are kind of weird in the obelisk since I made it like a multi-block structure. The way I was doing the particles, I couldn't override collision with terrain, so it all kind of like would hit the ceiling of the top block above it, and then you kind of see some particles. I decided to take it back to formula, I guess you could say. So if we get a temporal gear, here we go. Now, the process here, once it starts, there we go. Now it does a ring around it a little bit at random there, and you can kind of see, right, that it's doing something. I also had the idea to allow you to maybe cast transmutation on an essence generator to trigger a mana regen effect to people. You know, that way you could sacrifice essence to gain a mana regen buff. I'm not sure yet, but I thought about that today, but I didn't want to like pitch it in Discord just because I didn't know if I was going to need, want some input. Like I don't want to derail like a good conversation like that. What do I call it? Oh, here, it's Arclight Furnace. Let me catch up in chat here. Can confirm has come a long way. It does look fantastic. Yeah, the transmutation, like that's a spell you cast all the time. It's gotta feel good. It's gotta have more uses, right? Like I wanted transmutation in the wand to feel like a shovel, right? If you're trying to get clay and stuff, right? To feel like an axe if you want to take down a tree, a pick if you want to mine, right? Transmutation, the wand, is all about the magical property, right? Magical manipulation. So let me pull out the other wand. I'll show you the tier 3. Let's see, wand. You'll notice that it's just called wands now. I kind of took the proto wand part out. So I don't know, let's pull out like the walnut one. Why not? There we go. So this version of transmutation, here, I'll show you. Boom. Man, that drained my mana. It drained me. It's definitely cool. The cast times, I think I'm gonna make all transmutation cast times only 2 seconds. But yeah, I love it. I love this. Boom. Good stuff. Throw that out. It's just kind of fun to do now. And of course the tier 1, the tried and true. But yeah, lot of stuff. Just I'm in love with transmutation. Concerning 1.21, they made it so each clay has different clay forming colors. Will you implement that too for the Arc Furnace clay forming, or just restrict the clay that can be used? It's just going to stay blue clay. That's all. I know they're doing all this stuff with the different clays. Honestly, I've yet to see anything in 1.21 that even remotely piqued my interest. You know what? False. I saw that there were like big waves that were very work in progress. I kind of wonder what that's about. You know, like big, maybe they're like ocean waves, water waves. I have no idea what that is. That's the only thing so far, though. So until I see some like really big ticket item stuff, I'm kind of cooling on 1.21, right? Let them take as long as they need to, right? If Santa brings it, I'll be happy. I will be happy. All right. But yeah, I mean, I look at something like that with like, oh, you could clay form a bowl in it. You know what that means to me? That means that like absolutely nothing to me. Like, it was fine the way it was before, you know what I mean? Grendelbiter, hey! How's it going? Alright, let's do some coding work here. Let's do some coding work. This should be processing stuff right now. Let's get to that point. So, where was I with this? Alright, so we're in here, the connected essence provider position. So basically, if you don't have anything connected, any essence generator, then it just kind of does a hard reset check and then gets rid of everything, right? Like that's fine. That's fine. And that's your processing times. And then in here, right, I need to make sure that the link is not none. So this is going to be light, neutral, or dark. Nope. Anyway. So most of the logic should be in here. I could do this. This could just be another false check. I don't need to have everything in a huge if statement. Oh, not return false, geez, just return. Finally it works. Haven't used Twitch in years. Had to set up my phone. Oh, nice. How does it work on the phone? I every once in a while I'll try to pull something up on my phone on Twitch. And the interface, it seems like Twitch wants to annoy me. Because it just feels like it sometimes. And then I see all these people that are like, I have no idea who they are. I'm like, I just want to get to the people I'm following. Like I want to watch the TV channels that I want. Who is this? Like, why do you think I want a hot tub stream? Like, what the hell is this? No, I'm watching on desktop, but you need to verify your account with a phone. Oh, okay. I thought you were just on solely with the app. I'm like, ooh, that's is that a rough experience? Okay, so what I could do here, I'm gonna break this stuff out a little bit. We're gonna get rid of this and get rid of this, right? So if there's no essence linked up to it for some unknown reason, I added a 4th essence generating item. You know, so it has this is valid, but this is none, right? We can't work with that. The current linked essence provider, let's get rid of this because we need to do another check. This inventory, let's get the inventory slot of input empty. If the main inventory slot that you're throwing things into is empty, we don't want to go any further either, right? Because it's just gonna be a world of hurt. Now I should be able to go this far, and actually kind of queue up what the recipe is. Now this is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be sloppy at first, but I think what I need to do is create... we'll do string... Let me think about this. Because you throw a rustic compound in, right? And it's going to pull a recipe depending on the essence type, right? So I kind of need to know, like, hey, is this a rustic compound? Right? If this is a rustic compound, then check the essence provider, right, to see what your essence type is, and then pull the correct recipe from that. I think that's what we need to do. So I'm gonna have to create a string, and I'll just get input item name, and with this. We'll create a couple variables here because I'm going to have to reuse some stuff. We'll do item slot. I will say slot input. All lowercase will be sneaky, sneaky. Right? So that's going to be our item slot. And then to break it down a little further, I will pull up item stack as well. And I'll say slot item stack equals, and we'll do slot input dot item stack, right? And now what I could do is say slot item stack dot collectible dot code dot path. There we go. So that would be the entire path, right? So in this case, it's just going to be rustic compound. If not, it'll be like rustic compound dash tier 1 or whatever. Probably want to... I could probably come into here now, right? And I can say if... do you know if it's possible to set up the dev environment on Linux? I think I did see a guide for it. I've never done it myself, though. I think they have a guide for Linux, a guide for... the way I'm doing it with full Visual Studio Windows, and then another Windows guide for Visual Studio Code. But I think it is possible. They got the documentation here. Let me help you out, my friend. Go to Vintage Story Stuff, set up your mod environment. Can I put in links? There we go. So that's the page we're looking at here. Yeah, set up the environment, Linux and Mac. So there is a section here, goes up for your template and everything. I haven't heard anyone say this didn't work, but most of the people that I know, most of the modders, use Windows. But they recently did all this. Thanks. Yeah, not a problem. You thinking about making a mod? I'm always excited to hear about people's projects. Input item slot. Oh, what was I doing? Shit. All right, so I got the item stack. I got the item slot. Okay, so I'm trying to see. So I could do something like if I could do input item name dot equals, and let's say it's gonna equal Rustic compound. I'm gonna just manually put this in because I know that's the registry name. You know what? Now that I said it, I totally got it wrong. So let's go into item types. There it is. Rustic compound. Yep. Standalone name. There's no variants on it now. Yeah? Yeah. So, what's your idea? if you wanna say it. Just a real easy one at first. Make it so you don't consume saturation when sitting. So you can AFK. Oh, that's cool. That'd be a cool thing. May not be as easy as you think, though. You may have to... I think for that, you're going to have to do a little harmony love with that. Figure out harmony. That, or it's going to have to be a code mod, right? So you're going to have to get, like, player.controls. Is sitting. That way you could tell when you're sitting. And then from there, maybe figure out what the global constant drain is for your player for the satiety, and then just add it back, in the same interval that it takes it away, right? That way you're counteracting it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I started small too. My first mod was like a kitchen sink mod. And then I created a creatures mod, like my machine mod, then a creatures mod. And then I'm like, you know what? We still don't have a magic mod, so here we are today. Here we are. Input name. So if it equals rustic compound, right? This is where I need to start breaking it down. What I could do up here is I will say string recipe name. Right? And then that's going to equal... I'm going to have a default recipe. That default recipe is going to be... Let me pull up my list here. Where's my enums? Minimize that. That. Minimize that. Come on, where is it? There it is. Here we go. So maybe I will do stone any, because this is also how you're gonna get enchanted stone. And the netherite and the astrolith. You're gonna throw any stone into here, and it will process said stone into, just using the essence, right? So that's gonna be a big change with your resources. You're not gonna be using copious amounts of rusty dust anymore. There's a hidden number for food saturation that prevents your saturation from draining for a span of time after you eat. Oh, you know what? I know I've seen that. Like a grace period. Came up in a mod I saw recently that adds professions that got rid of it. Yeah. So yeah, maybe that's another option. Take a look at that professions mod and see how they add it back. At that point, the professions mod probably... I can't say for sure. Seems like most professions, like classes mods, are primarily just JSON. But better yet, if you don't have to jump right into, a coded mod. You can ease into the pool instead of cannonballing. So, I guess, you know what? I will say enchanted stone, right? I'm going to do enchanted stone. Actually, I'm going to put enchanted stone here. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to add it right to the enum. That way, instead of putting in the string for it, right? There we go. That way, if I ever change this, I'm not going to have to do like string searches or anything, right? It will just tell me like, oh, you removed it. You got to change it everywhere. So it could default to that, right? Just make enchanted stone. It's going to be the cheapest thing. Now I can start getting a little wild with it. Would it be a shame? In the furnace recipes, maybe I should have something where it's like ingredient, right? And then I can say rustic compound. something like this. And then I could have, you know, everything underneath it, kind of format it like this. I always like to put a none in here, just as like an anchor. That way, zero's reserved for nothing's there, because it'll just start like, you know, whatever the first one is and have that be 0. And then write ingredient rustic compound. Probably any stone up here, right? So I could do like ingredient. I could say ingredient any stone, right? And then that could be enchanted stone. Rustic compound down here. See, if I have ingredient rustic compound, I don't need it there. Right, so let's try this. It's about to be upset. So let's gracefully save and shut down. Let me check permission to drop a link in. Oh, crap. I don't know if it's going to let you. I have like auto mod because I don't have mods for streaming. And of course the stream starts buffering. Oh, no! Okay, that should be a little better. Apply to the Logitech G522 Lightspeed campaign now. I don't know what the fuck that is. I whispered it. All right, cool. Yeah, until we get more people like watching and maybe the stream grows, I eventually have to like delegate some mods. That way, it's not just me kind of doing everything. Eventually, right? Eventually. Let's get more than a couple people watching. Alright, so recipe name, right? We'll say enchanted stone. And then what I could do now is come up to here, right? And I could say like Arclight Furnace recipes dot ingredient rustic compound. Right? So we'll do that dot toString. But it's not ingredient rustic compound, right? It would just be rustic compound. So maybe instead of doing a substring, could just do this. Rustic wait, no, but what if I ever make something where rustic compound is the output? How would that work out? You know what? That doesn't matter because all of my recipes are all like one way. So if you had rustic compound as the output, it's because your tag was like something else. Yeah, this would win. Reset my internet connection. Evening 8. How's it going? And I, of course, Twitch decides that because I am a new viewer, I get bonus ads. Oh, man. That sucks. That sucks. Damn you, Twitch. Hopefully it's not Taco Bell. Like, I don't know what Twitch thinks about me. I talk about Taco Bell sometimes, but literally almost every goddamn ad is either like something about like Allstate, and I'm like, I don't even have Allstate. Like, what the hell is this, right? So it's either Allstate or like some kind of Taco Bell ad where it's like all these teenage kids in like 70s clothes with like, I'm like, do you know me at all? Like, what the fuck? Although that looks good. I've been fooled by Taco Bell before. You can't break my heart. Like, what are you doing? Feelsies. Hey, what's up? We are working on the Arclight Furnace right now. There we go. We're working on the actual recipe part. I actually like Taco Bell. You know what? I like it too. I got two problems with Taco Bell, and one of them is just because the Taco Bell around me sucks. I can't stand it when I order Taco Bell and I ask for like a bunch of fire sauce and I get no packets of hot sauce. I'm like, the whole point of me ordering Taco Bell is the fact that I like your hot sauce and it makes your food like that's what I was thinking about when I placed my order. You know, like giving me no packets, I will burn that place down to the ground, damn it. How dare you? It's a waste. I feel like it's a waste, right? Hate it. The other thing is I was tricked by them recently. They broke my heart. I opened up the app, right? I think I was talking about it on stream. I think I actually was trying to stomach the chicken tenders, right? And I'm looking at the video and it's all like bouncing around and looks moist and awesome. It was terrible. It tasted terrible. It was horrible. So they broke my heart. I don't like that. All right, so Arclight Furnace. If it's a rustic compound and it's neutral essence, then we are gonna make essence ash neutral. If it's gonna be light, then it's going to be the light ash. If it's gonna be dark, then it's going to be the dark ash, right? So this is something that would just kind of pick a recipe name, figure out what the output for that item is depending on your essence, and then for the recipe, I could come down here, right where the path is. I can paste that in, right? I don't need this. So what this does is it would look, so it took the path name before, right? So Essence Ash Tier 1 dash light is the real name of the actual item. So this would replace the dash to like combine it all together. That's the clever way that I found to look up my recipes. But since I'm doing it already here, this is kind of superfluous. It's just not going to find anything, but I'm going to leave it in because it's like really good to know. Right, and then what am I doing here? So after I pick a recipe, I was getting the information. Oh, I think I could use pretty much the rest of this. Oh, past Vice, you beautiful beast. You deserve some Taco Bell. What does my app say? Let's see. Let me see. Let's fire it up. Oh, hold on one second. Boom. All right, everyone. Let's I just want to see what the new thing is. I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm not gonna buy anything, but I want to see. You know, this is why I get the Taco Bell ads. What do we got? $2 refresh good time. You know what? You lost me. You lost me. No, thank you. All right, so in this next section, I'm getting the obelisk. Yeah, so I'm getting the essence provider available essence amount, right? So I'm doing a check at this point to see if the amount, the available amount, is the. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, I'm taking a snapshot of what the available amount is. And then in here, let's change this to input. This is why I go inside the lobby to order, then I can load my own bag. Yeah, I got some stashed hot fire sauce. Every once in a while they'll get it right, and I feel like I gotta save every little bit. And then of course it's like it gets to a point where I'm like, how old is that hot sauce? maybe I should cycle this out. Last time I think I remember putting the stash here last Christmas. I love their fire sauce too. It's my favorite. I remember the day you got the tenders, right? I think we had a bunch of people in. Pizza was in, right? Like I should have ordered pizza. Would have been better. That chicken was terrible. Ugh. It was like a corn breading in the worst way you can make a corn breading. It had no soul. So what I'm saying here is if the inventory slot does not equal empty, right? So if there's something in there, and then the item stack size +1. Ooh, wait a minute. Let's undo this. This is the output slots. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back to this. We're gonna comment this out because there's not one output slot, there are multiple output slots. And then basically I look to see what the processing cost is going to be. And then I start, let's see, essence processing time. So I start to get a snapshot of the time, mark it dirty. And this is if the item cost is greater. I'm gonna have to rewrite this part too, because that is just not making sense to me how that was working, unless it was like part of the story, which it could have been. Oh wait, and this one right here would consume the essence and output an item. All right, so let's save all of this. Let's fireball it in, and let's hop in and run some print statements. We did have a larger number of viewers here that day than normal. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like when people are on. That's why I do this. Kind of chat with people, kind of show off, what I'm doing, and not only that, getting input, because it's a lot easier to change something the first time. You know what I mean? The first time. And remember too, like in these projects, I'm looking at it like this right in my face, So there are times when, yeah, I didn't even consider I could do blah blah blah, right? All right, so we'll pick that up. Let's get some print statements in. I'm about to throw stuff in without even knowing anything here. Hold on. We're just gonna copy that. So really, I'm curious to see if the recipe is correct. Like, what do you see when I throw this in? What recipe are you trying to get? Enchanted stone. Okay, that's fair. Pull it out. It still says enchanted stone. Oh, I'm getting it for everything. Oh, we're gonna have to... Let's go into a new world. Scorched Earth. Because I'm seeing the ticks for every single thing. I gotta make sure it's not running. I'm trying to make everything as efficient as I can make it. So for this, I'm just gonna say... delete me. I'll know what it means 3 weeks from now. It'll mean I could delete it after I log into the world and check to see what the heck I was doing. Corn breading belongs on catfish, not chicken nuggets. Chicken should be wheat flour breaded. Yeah, it was weird. The way it looked too, it was like mashed together. Like it looked like a turd with like corn kernels in it. Like it was very like aggressive feeling, kind of like picking it up. It was kind of like abrasive. It's terrible. All right, Arclight Furnace. You know what? Here, let's a couple things here. Yeah, right on this island. You know what? We'll just do this. I was gonna pull out the wand transmutation, kind of try and be cute, but nah. There we go. This is all I need. Let's get some of this nature out of here. I don't want this crap here. There we go. All right, this is what we got. There's nothing going on. Ripping out and rewriting code is more time consuming than just rewriting it, because there's always a stray code that gets left. Yep, yeah, that's true. But I know there was a way, because I had the format of this, right? So I had to think like, in what order did I decide? Because I have a working system now that does this. I just need to convert it and like mold it to be able to not be so static. Before, like I had like 3 different variables for like each individual item that you would put in, like just kind of set in the block itself. Like I could do better, right? Let's make a real recipe system. Let's parse out that recipe from a dictionary. Let's not have, like, 35 different variables for specific items and static lookups, right? Bad weird, not good weird. It's like holding a turd. It made me so hungry. All right. So I'm not getting any... Oh, I'm not getting anything, though. Oh, it's beyond my comprehension. I can't even take anything out of the top. I don't know. Should Should non-mages be able to do that? Streamlining code, you know it. Hey, Oder, how's it going? I gotta become a mage. You know what? No, you cannot pull anything out of there. Sorry. No. Let's get my admin tool. So happy I made these admin tools. Boom. Mana. Alright. Stick my fingers in there. So this is what I would expect, right? You could throw items in. Nothing is ticking now. Now let's get a... I don't know, what do we want? We'll just do this. Put that over here so I don't get radiation poisoning. There we go. Yep, there it is. Let's pull out the little cheat bracelet. Where is it? Hold on, it's up here. No, it's not. Come on, where's the Heart of Harmony? There it is. Boop. Equip. I love it. So worth the effort. All right. So I didn't link these up yet. Oh, you know what? That is true. That information up there is static right now. And it's got to be rewritten. Right? So I can pick it up, pull it out. Now, what happens, we're going to have to do this a couple ways, right? Let me get the resonator. Let's get the regular resonator. We'll link them together. Boop. We got to change, right? There we go. Now it's ticking. Excellent. Excellent. Right, so that's good. Let's pull it off. And it stopped. So that dirt block, right? That was just generic enchanted stone. Let's pull up a rustic compound. Right here. Oh, all my stuff here. Throw that in. Bam! Essence Ash Tier 1 neutral. So I can get the correct recipe. Excellent. Let's bring this a little further. Let me disconnect everything. And it stopped. Good, good. Let's pull up one more essence generator. Let's do the dark one. Let's go back into connection mode. Oh, okay, that one's saved. I guess I didn't put it on it. There we go. So, yep, now it's trying to make the Essence Ash Tier 1 dark. Good. So we can look it up. The particles are activating, because at this point, as soon as you get the recipe, it should be going into creation mode. Which means... in here, I probably should put something that would check another if... because I don't need it to keep looking up what the recipe is, right? So I would need something that says, hey, you're obviously making something, stop checking for the recipe. Which is going to be right in here. I believe it's going to be the processing time. Since processing time max, maybe it should be the max. It's probably going to be this. Let's go back in here. Right? So if this is greater than 0, it means you already have a recipe. Just return. You don't need to look anymore. When you take an item out, it runs this reset, which would clear that back to 0, which would allow it to continue to start trying to look for an item if there's one in the item slot. Right? So let's kind of pull it back a little bit. Oh. Pull it out. Oh, I'm not initiating anything right now. So let's go into a little further down here. So right, we get the recipe. Let's continue with this. I mean, it would make sense they could take the item out, but whatever. Well, it depends, right? Because if it's on, there's arcane fire, right? Like, and should non-mages be able to interact with the system? That's another thing. If you can pull something, like, it's bad enough, honestly, non-mages could throw things in because the game itself, when you throw an item, it has a place for the player UID, right, who threw it, and the item entity. That's null in the current version of the game, so I have no way to reference the player who threw said item, which really, really sucks. So they can throw things in. I mean, worst case scenario, I could say, no, you can't reach in and take it out. But, you know, well, I guess we'll have to see. I'll leave it as is. That's something that when I give the supporters this version to kind of play around with and check out how, you know, the spells work and everything, that'll probably be in feedback there. I mean, just slap down a ring of runes. I'm really looking forward to this rewrite. Yeah, this I'm looking forward to it. I think I may actually be able to, like, play on a server. Like, I'll feel like I don't have a laundry list of things to do. Because each iteration, it's like, yeah, it's better, but it wasn't the vision, right? Like, I needed a foundation to really be able to, like, express these ideas. And I got it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All right, so in here, right, let's say we pull out the recipe. Now, what was I running? Where is it? No, that's on burned. Let me get rid of some of this stuff that I don't need up here. What was over here? So that was the furnace recipe. There it is. There it is. Right? So I'm running a creation starting process here. Which, yeah, add crucible portal. So this right here is what I would want to look at. And actually, we are going to recreate this to some degree. Instead of run crucible, I'm going to say run Arclight Furnace. I keep calling it an Arclight Forge. That's gonna get me. Start item block creation process, and then recipe. And then I think this is just setting the variables. So we're gonna copy this. I'm going to blast this right here, right underneath. I'm going to do the lazy approach here. If it says Crucible, then make it say Arclight Furnace. Perfect. 2 occurrences. Man, it was worth it. Let's see. Current. We're going to copy this, because that's referring to the Oculus. So I'll just say current recipe. Select everything, just another ironing out the wording. Now let's try to read it, right? And we are going to need a recipe up right here. We move that over here. Let me check chat fast before I dive in. That would make sense. They could take the item out. Okay. Slap the runes. Really looking forward to it. Good. I'm all caught up. Excellent. So basically, I'm zeroing these 2 things out. I'm going to have to create... Oh, you know why? You know why it's upset? I call this Essence Infusion right now. Whoops. Because I wanted a specific tag. Just in case these things start cross-pollinating with each other, I don't want to see, like, output item and then guesstimate what process that you know, it's going to be outputting the item from. So we got that, and then input total time to complete recipe. That one is going to be a no. Ingredient items, ingredient amounts. We don't have those dictionaries. I don't have any of this either. Here we go. We'll just kind of go down, multi-line it. There's nothing with runestones right now, but I am going to keep an eye on that. This, however, we do have now. That's going to be the essence type and the essence amount. So that's going to be your essence type. This will be your essence amount. And then the actual outputs. Here we go. Whoops. Here we go. Next ingredient is not needed either. This isn't that kind of thing. We're just going to shut down because I know it's going to be upset. We have to pull in the essence infusion. Total time to complete. But we had a specific variable for this. So let's scroll up to... Oh, we got to scroll down, right? It was this right here. So that is the max time. So I'll say essence processing max time. And then this is going to be dot essence infusion total time. Go. All right, so that's the maximum time. And I think that is everything. So let's scroll back up. I need to copy this name because I didn't change the name of the method. All right. So let's take a look at this. Man, you know, I just thought of it again. I've been scaring myself because I think about how much I've added and what changed. And then I think about the guidebook and all the work that I'm going to have to... I'm going to be in guidebook hell for like a week. It's going to be horrible. Damn guidebook. Although this time around it's going to be cooler. The guidebook's going to mean more. It's going to... some of your progress is going to be locked by certain achievements. Right? So until you create or maybe hold or get a hold of the foundry, right? You won't be able to use magic chalk, right? You won't be able to get magic chalk. So I'm gating you that way, and what I want to do is eventually turn that into a research-based thing, kind of like Thaumcraft. Delete me! Will the reference to the player who threw the object be implemented in 1.21, do you think? Well, Crickerloper, it should be implemented now. It's there, it's just null. So maybe, but see, and this is the other part of it. They need to focus on the player server synchronization for things like thrown items and stuff. There we go. So I would rather have them do, because until they do that, how are you going to fix, you know, the fact that the player UID comes up null? You know? It's like whatever gets there first, server or client, will consume the item, leaving, you know what I mean? Kind of leaving. It's just weird. It's just weird. The bracelet that you put on to make you immune to rust sickness from the generator, can it be crafted, or if it's an admin tool? It's kind of an admin tool. Honestly, anyone could patch that attribute to any armor and get protection from rust sickness. That's part of the whole attributes update that I did. But for now, the Heart of Harmony is admin only. All these 4 bracelets are. Right, so increasing spell damage by 50%. This one grants rust sickness protection and clairvoyance. This one increases spell duration by a ridiculous amount for buffs. And this one is just like your classic walk speed, run speed, just because I wanted to. But the clairvoyance is pretty cool because it's something that will passively unlock when you're mage with the mage helmet, right? The mage hat. But let me see if I can find anything. Pull up a chicken. Rooster, perfect. So you can look at it, right? And it tells you what the health is, right? What the resistance is for the element that's damaged here. So it tells you, clairvoyance tells you additional information about the creature you're looking at. So that's pretty cool. By putting on that bracelet, you gain that ability. Was just curious what had been implemented for it. Yeah. All right. So let me link this. Whoops. Let's go back into connection mode. You know what? There we go. Perfect. Boop. Throw that into the ocean. All right. The given key, Essence Ash Tier 1 Neutral, was not present in the dictionary. Duh. I forgot to register it, guys. The whole point of the system. I forgot. And it's in here. Damn it. Recipe list. Here we go. Let's register these recipes. Oh, man. So we're gonna have the neutral, and they're all gonna branch to the same thing. We'll do neutral, light, and dark. Neutral, light, dark. That should cover us right now. I don't have to have the rustic compound thing. Here we go. Boop. I am all in favor of admin tools for adding in dev, even if they are never made available for players outside of creative. Yeah, I tried to do that. Like some of the spells, like the summon portal spell, I made a permanent version of that. That's admin only for server creators, right? Server owners. I made the Void Vault as well, right? That one also has like a forever kind of admin only version, so it's getting there. We really need a trash can in this game. My first mod that I ever made for this game years and years and years and years ago. All right, fine. I'll look like this. God, I don't care. Just I don't care. First mod I ever made was adding chests. It was a JSON only mod. It was back when I was working on the ViesCraft airships mod. But yeah, and that one I actually made a garbage can as well. It was just a black hole void where you could throw some of the useless items at the time. That was before we had the ModDB page. I had dabbled in modding in this game for a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went back to Minecraft for a year or two, and then came back. I'm happy you take inspiration from Thaumcraft because they have some really nice mechanics and ideas. I want to learn more about it. It was... I haven't played it in so long, I forgot a lot of it. So, like, when someone had mentioned today in the Discord, the black hole pocket, I'm like, I could do that! Right? Like, that's a brilliant idea! Damn! There are always a couple trash can mods. Yeah, there are. I used one that's an inventory slot, and the other there's a physical block in the game. I made like an actual little recycle bin. It was out of like bark. It looked like a very primitive thing. It was just teaching me like modeling and stuff. I think if you go on the forums, the old forums, you could probably find it. Yeah, I'm gonna try it here. Whoops, that wasn't it. So we do that. Let's pull up Vice. What is this? Rustbound Magic? Let's scroll on down. Hey, Vice Storage, there it is. This was it. This was the original. Just making stuff. It's so old. There we go. Now that'll be like the only time I ever. It's gonna be years. Oh, it dropped my bracelet because I picked the class. Lame. Heart of Harmony. Boop. There we go. Protection. Doesn't smell like ozone over there. Uh, hey Rivian, how's it going? Never made the black hole bag, so kind of saying you've been modding since so long. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it a while. I mean, that's partially why I could sit here on a stream and like multitask, because it takes a lot to stream. Like you gotta watch chat, you gotta make sure, you know, like things don't pop up where you don't want them. I got all these windows open. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with it. Over time. All right, let's see, because there's no errors going on right now, so it definitely, it's happy. It just popped up and ticked once with the Essence Ash Tier 1 neutral. So just to make sure that it is doing what I think it is doing, we're going to come back up here, and in the print statement now, I'm going to have a 1 and a 2, and then I'm going to say this dot Essence Infusion output item ID, right? If it's got an output item ID, it copied everything else over. I think this is just going to be Rustbound Magic Abyssium. Maybe one day we'll get Abyssium in the game. Oh, come on, man. I hate this. So I take it out, throw it in. Rustbound Magic Abyssium. Bam. So by throwing something in, now I can queue up a recipe. I can queue it up. Now what we need to do... this will probably be the next area. And I'm going to keep those print statements there. So what we're doing here is we're getting a snapshot of the Essence provider. You know what? Maybe I need to separate things out to here, right? Because now we're getting into a completely different flow of logic. So let me copy this. We're going to create this ticker now, right? So the first one's going to kind of listen and then queue everything up, right? It's going to say, hey, do I have a recipe? If not, let me look, right? When I see something and I'm in a state where I haven't, I don't have anything and I've been looking, there's an item, all the conditions are right, then I can register it, right? And like pass the torch. And now let's get another tick listener that runs every second here that says, oh, hey, you have all of this stuff and we can make something. Now let's go through the process, right? Because there may come a time when I want, yeah, see the Essence process, that listener. Is that the same one? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the one we just did. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, this is the update. I hate that they forced me to update. See, that runs every half second, right? Because that one's got to be a little more aggressive. I'm going to want this process to run every 1 second. Right? Let's have this one run every 1 second. We're going to kind of get rid of that. Would I be separating it out like this? You know what? I think I am going to do the old way here. Now this is making more sense. I'm going to get rid of that. I think I can embrace this. I think I know what past Vice was doing. We're going to put this in here, right? So I'm getting the available essence amount from the top, right? And then I'm seeing what the actual essence cost is. That's got to change. That has got to change. Let's just scroll down a little bit. Let's get rid of that. Right, because now it's going to be... Oh, wait, it's the same thing. That's the same variable. Maybe not. Maybe we're good. It's past Vice guy. He seems to know his stuff. Right, so if the amount of essence that's available at the other end is greater than or equal to what it costs to do it, then we can start accruing the processing time. We're gonna have to mark it dirty. So half second actually works out because I'm not doing a whole second kind of tick. I'm using a delta time. Yep, and that's a flow. And then we're gonna kind of pivot that stuff into here. So D2, okay, so DT, I'm passing delta time. Can't stack slot. Oh, I was clever. I'm gonna have to expand that though. The amount too, that's not gonna be it. The essence cost is there, and then is it a block or is it not? I may end up getting that part, like changing that part too, right? So this one right here, this is going to be this dot essence infusion output amount, right? This one I'm gonna keep false for now. We're gonna have to really figure this out. Oh, and that's what I was doing up here. I was looking to see if you had available space. That's gonna be something totally different. Once we have something that can start burning stuff, like processing. All right, let's move this out of my way. Let's put on another song. Where's that derpy one that I always put on? Here we go. There it is. I'm feeling it. Right? So let's put a print statement in here. RMR references.logger. I'm just going to make it very apparent. We will label it with a 1 because I will know what that means. And let's make sure that essence cost is indeed correct. And I just realized the folly in what I did up here. I just realized it. I think what I will do is this. Cut this out. Paste this in. Right, if there's something in the slot, then run all of this. Right? So you got to here, everything's linked up. You have an item in the slot. Now I can start checking to see, hey, are you processing something, right? If you're not, then kind of go through all this stuff and then return, right? Because that's all you're doing. You don't need to go any further. Now, right, if there is something in here, it means that this has already ran. And what I probably should do is say, if it's this and, because I don't know at what like sequence, like if because this runs every half second, but you could put an item in immediately, right? So we'll do this instead, right? And we'll say if there's something finally in here and the max processing time is 0, right? That means you have an item sitting there waiting to be queued up. Then you can go through all this, queue it up correctly. You know, we'll get our little print statements here and then return. And then when it comes through, it's going to see like, oh, there is an item there, but now we have a max processing, so we could just skip down and start looking at other things. And then eventually get to here. Perfect. Big brain. Hey, we got zeros. So I pull it out. Okay. Throw it in. So there it is. It just got Abyssium up and running. It's zeroed out, though. Let me check the recipe, because I have done stuff like that before. Nope. So it should be 60. So what we're going to do here, I know exactly what to do. We're going to use this variable instead. Wait a minute. Item processing cost. Yes. There we go. That way it's the same. I had a feeling I was going to want to do this anyways. And when you come into here, let's double check. We're going to use this. And this, right? Wait a minute. Let me undo this. Hold on. No, wait. I want to redo that. I think I need a little more information in here. Hold on. This big brain stuff. Reset essence and item info. I'm gonna have to put this kind of stuff in here, right? I'm gonna have to zero this out. Is this an int? This is an int, right? Yeah. Here we go. So we will zero this out. Gonna paste this a bunch of times. The essence amount. We will zero that out as well. This right here is going to equal null. This right here is also going to equal null. This is the big reset. And then this is going to equal... You know what? I will have it equal 1. There we go. And then we have the current time, max time, item costs. I think I'm going to prune these out as well. All right. But at least this would be like a hard reset. And what I will do, the big check here, isn't going to be this max processing time anymore. It's going to be the new infusion time. Right? Because we snapshot it from here, which means that I need to change it here as well. Which means that this is not, it's an integer, right? All right, and then that should come down into here quite nicely. All right. All right, so there we go, 60 seconds. It pulled it through. If I pull it out, it is now 0. 0 just ticking by. So even though the item is out, it is still getting through to here. So what I probably should do is copy this. Let's put a little barrier here. Let's say if return, right? So if the input item slot is empty, just return, right? Don't bother doing anything else. Boom. What is this here? It's like as I'm streaming, all these updates are coming in. So hold on, let me see what Streamlabs is doing here. Apply to Logitech G522 Lightspeed campaign now. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's just trying to do overlays, get paid to stream with sponsorships. Oh, okay. No thank you. Just no thank you. Alright. It's not ticking anymore. Throw this in. It just queued up the recipe. Now it's sitting at 60 seconds. Pull it out, and it has stopped. Queued it up again, 60. Beautiful. So, by throwing the item in, as long as I have a recipe created for it, and it's in the registry, it's going to find that recipe, which is going to be easy going forward. Now let's have it process this stuff, right? Let's process this mess. So to start processing, right, I'm going to take things... Oh, I see what I did here. This is just like the final output. Let me put in another ticker here. I can kind of get rid of this. You know what? I'm gonna add to it. right here. And then let's look at this dot, is it counter? No, what was it? What was it? Let's scroll down. Current, the current processing time. Because that should be incrementing right now. Let's throw an item back in. It is incrementing. Excellent. It's a float, but this timer is it's working. So I guess we're gonna kind of pull from my old model down here, but instead, it's the essence cost. What I'm gonna say is this dot essence infusion. Essence infusion. Do we want time, right? The total time is less than or equal to the essence processing time. So we're going from an int to a float. What I want to do, I believe I got to get better at this stuff, right? A math.floor. Right, that's gonna be what I want. Because it's going to take the, it's going to round down. Turns the largest integral value less than or equal to the specific double precision float point. Right, so by doing this, here, let me see what this looks like as we step through. Zero. Beautiful. Here, let me take a look here. Math floor. I want to start using stuff like this to be a little more exact. Yeah, the largest integral value less than or equal to, or you know what? It's something else. Let me do a quick search here. Let's pull up another window. In C#. Yeah, so it would be math floor. Oh, math floor. I would have to cast it as an int, right? So I would put in the float, cast it as an int. That would make sense. That would make sense, but the shit didn't work. Doesn't work. Let me kind of come up here. Ready to create a new variable. I don't know. Int test equals. All right, so that's the processing time. Let me also make sure that the processing time is what I think it is, and let's also go into here and put in test, right? So I could see all three things happening at once. What do we got? Oh shit, it's all zeroed. This is no longer increment. Oh. Time max, it's the current time. Essence time processing. Current. Son of a gun. There we go. I guess here, I mean, instead of test, let's go ahead and give it a real variable, because I probably should have it assigned anyways. I will say processing time. Oh man, I don't have much longer to stream. I just took a look. Oh boy. This may be as far as we get. We're going to be action rolling out of the car. There we go. 4, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7. Yep, so Math Floor is doing its job. Yeah. For all of this, I don't need to see these anymore, but I may have to reference back to them. Right, so it's ticked long enough. Now what do you do, right? Probably the item conversion. We would take out the item, right? We would take out the item from slot input, right? So take that out. And then we need to put, and this is where the can stack, can't stack kind of thing came from. Okay. So then we would need to insert an item into an item stack if it is empty, right? So let's take that out. This is going to be another if statement here, and we're going to go back into... You know what, since we got this far, let's just make a variable. Item slot, we will say input slot equals... Here we go. So I don't have to keep referring to that. We will copy this. So, right, we'll take that out. And then I can say if this... output slot. Since I don't have an output slot, I'll just put it in slot 1. And then we would take it out of there, right, from the input slot. And then for the output slot, I'll put in something that just says dot empty, right? So if this is empty, then go ahead and for output slot dot... Is there an easy way that I could just like shove this in instead of just overwriting item stack? I don't think so. Like say item stack equals new item stack. We would get the item. You know what? I'm doing that down here. Where is it? Let's fish it out. Right here. Right here. There we go. Right, so instead of get block, this is going to be get item. I'm going to have to account for that. And we will get rid of that because the asset location is going to be this dot essence infusion item output ID. And then the amount in is here that we're already passing it through. So it should give me the item at the other end and put it in slot 1, but it's only going to work if slot 1 has nothing in it. And I got rid of my print statement, so I can't see when this is going to happen. So let's... Oof, I got like minutes, y'all, minutes. I don't know why I put 60 seconds. We're going to mark it down to 10 seconds. Save. I'm going to just save and quit. We're going to hop back in. I'm going to rebuild. And I just want to see processing time. Build. Go. So if this works, it will be the first something to you know, to say actually it's kind of working, right? It should output the item. Now I'm gonna have to add to that, right? And I'm gonna have to say start. I'm gonna have to say if there's something in the next slot, right? I'm gonna have to have something that iterates through the slots, checks to see if a slot is empty or not, so it knows how to handle it. And then what to do if everything's at capacity. You know, like, honestly, I would just stop the process, right? The flames would go out. And you'd have to empty it. Yep. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's null? Ah! it didn't fully load in. So if it's this, let's go into here and say if this equals null. It's because I didn't save any of this to the block. Hold on. But all this stuff needs to be saved as the iTree attributes. For now, we're gonna do this. It's a good safety check to have anyways. Can I scooch past? Are you gonna be okay? Gonna be okay here? Okay. I think it just gobbled that item up. Rustic compound. You know, let's just get a stack of 64. Or 32. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boop! Oh, wait. Essence Infusion Output ID. Is this a block or an item in this recipe? Abyssium. Is that real? Oh, that's not just Abyssium. Wait, Enchanted Stone. Let's put in Enchanted Stone. Alright, so it's gonna be upset. Let's just go back in. Because I think Abyssium has something more to it. Actually, I think Enchanted Stone has something more too. I think it's Enchanted Stone - none. That is the actual registry name for it. Oh, but no, yeah, it would have all the dashes and everything in it. I thought I was printing it out. But that again, yeah, you're pretty late. I'm like literally 30 seconds from action rolling out of this stream. You know what? While this is loading, I really got to find someone to raid because I gotta go. we are going to blindly raid. Ooh, Mischief of Mice. Oh, he's playing Lord of the Rings. Nice. Oh. Slash raid Mischief of Mice. We're action rolling out. Oh, whoops. Raid Mischief of Mice. There we go. And the fact that it's still loading, it means that it was upset. Yep. I need to look at this and see what's going on. But all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be working on this as soon as I get time later tonight. We got a little time. We got seconds. 10 seconds. I want to see something right here. 7, 8, 9. Nope, blew up. So I must not be assigning this. I'll have to check up here. Oh, I set it to null. Oh, and then I pull it out. But it's null. So I'll figure it out. I have it working in other things. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Adios. See you later. Bye.